Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the D Street, from the benchmark index moves to sectoral action and all the stocks that are buzzing in trade. We'll get you expert views on all of those as well. First up, a quick check on how the markets are doing at this point in time. The Sensex has slipped about 90 odd points right now. The markets have turned volatile and you are looking at similar scenario on the Nifty as well, just about 1/10% lower in trade. Now, 19,726 is the current level, about 27 points of a decline for that one. Let's look at the broader markets as well, the mid and the small caps, and see if the fall has escalated there. So the Nifty bank is down about 0.2 odd percent. The mid and the small caps are up into the green. The broader market is where the action lies today. In terms of the sectoral indices, so you can see the small cap 100 index is up at 0.8%, so it's inching towards the day's high again. Now when you look at the sectoral indices, barring the sharp move that you're looking at in the IT pack, rest of the sectors are largely into the red in today's trading action, led by the fall in the realty action. We're also looking a fall at the metals pack as well. The autos are also now trading soft as well in today's trading space. A lot of other sectors are also coming under pressure, including the FMCG, the pharma index as well. The autos have absolutely flattened out, and we will be focusing on all of these sectors that are in focus in today's trade. Let's look at the top gainers and the losers in today's trading action. For the Nifty especially, you will be able to spot a whole host of names coming in from the IT pack on the top gainers list as well, because that is the bright spot in today's action. So you can see Tech Mahindra up by 2.5%. The power space stocks like NTPC, that's buzzing in trade. HCL Technologies again another one from the IT pack that's buzzing up in trade. Eicher Motors, M&M, these are the companies that are buzzing in trade. Of course, a whole host of news flow, auto sales numbers pushing some of the auto names higher in trade. TCS, Infosys, you can see some of these big blue chip companies from the IT pack also buzzing. HDFC Bank also throwing its weight behind the kind of nifty move is concerned right now. Now when we look at some of the other losers pack on the Nifty, you will be able to spot a whole host of names coming in from the realty pack over there, because it's the realty index that is creating some pressure. Hero MotoCorp, of course, we will be talking about. There is an ED search that's gone as far as the chairman Pawan Munjal is concerned, and that has led to the pressure on the stock. Power Grid is down in trade. Apollo Hospital slightly down by 2.5% or so. But let's welcome our guest on the show. Kush Godasara joins in. He's a market analyst. Kush, good afternoon and thank you so much for taking the time out. Overall, your sense on the markets? We've been seeing consolidative mood extend for the last 1 week or so in the markets, but what's next for the markets?
Good afternoon and thank you for inviting me. Definitely looking at the market charts, I think we are due for a correction, because if you look at the broader picture, since last 3 months, we have given a rally of almost 20 to 100 points in Nifty. So starting from 17,000 uh, in the April, we have touched almost 19,800. So I believe we are due for a correction. Definitely overall, we have a good India story. But the market charts are like our ECG report. If it is a wavy one, then only we survive. We cannot see a one-way move every time. So everyone is super bullish on the market. But I feel short-term moving averages technically, which has been bridged yesterday, which was at 19,750, and we are trading below that level since last 2 days. So in our terms, technical terms, we have weakened. But yes, confirmation will be if we close today below 19,750 again, then we may see some smart profit booking.
Okay. Let's get to some of the stocks as well. Let me talk to you about PVR Inox first. Just a few minutes back, we've got actually the earnings of Q1 for PVR Inox. Over here, we've seen that the consolidated loss has now escalated to 82 odd crore rupees, vis-a-vis 53 odd crore rupees of loss that was reported last year. The revenues, however, have improved from 981 crores to 1305 crores. The EBITDA has also seen an increase of 10 odd crore rupees. The margins are seen slipping by about 27% or so in this quarter. Last year in the same quarter, it was about 34.8%. The share in the green at 0.38%, 1562. Your thoughts on PVR Inox?
Definitely, I believe, first talking about technicals, I think the stocks are in a downtrend since quite some time. We have seen, stock trading below 200-day average. PVR, if you talk about 1730 was 200-day average. We are seeing consistent, trading below same level since almost December, while markets are, above 200-day average. So there is one technical, divergence. Secondly, talking fundamentally, I think still, tough times are ahead. First reason is OTT. OTT has become now favorite. Secondly, there are at least in the metro cities and tier one cities, we have mini plexes like in Ahmedabad. If I talk about complexes where 30-50 seater theaters are picking up momentum because prices of tickets are inflated in theaters like PVR and Inox. So people are preferring on a lower budget and a good equivalent luxury. So I think fundamentally future is going to be difficult for PVR. Technically, unless and until we trade above 1600, PVR is not going to look good.
Okay, let's talk some of the other stocks as well. You know, some stocks from the mid and the small cap basket are actually moving quite sharply despite the overall volatile move in the markets. So, you know, look at a stock like KIOCL, for example. It's, seen a surge of 15.5%. Dilip Buildcon, another stock that's sharply moved up in trade. 14% uptick for this one as well. You're looking at Hindustan Copper, for example. That stock has surged 7%. Naveen Fluorine, that stock's moved after a long time, 6.5% uptick for this one. Dilip Buildcon right now at an upper circuit of 20%. So you can see this stock again 9%, 7% move on Naveen Fluorine as well. Huge volumes that are leading to this uptick as well. Any of these stocks that are moving up very, very sharply towards the last half an hour of trade, what would you say?
Definitely, out of these all stocks, I will go with KYCL. Only reason is, it has given a breakout today of almost last 6 years. We have seen a life high in around November 2017 for the stock. And if we stretch a resistance line from the top, we have been resisting at the same trend line for almost 6 years. So today we have seen a move above that level, which was 230. So, Daily Bilcon, Navin Fluorine, we have already seen a good move in last 6 years. But if you see KIOCL, it has not moved pretty much as per the market. And today volumes are almost 10x. So I think KIOCL I will prefer more. One can buy freshly on the stock, maybe BTST or for even for 2 to 3 weeks time. 226 can be a stop loss. Target can be around 280.
Okay. Since I was talking about it initially in my initial comments, that it's the IT pack that's shining the brightest today, both the large cap and the mid cap IT space stocks. And over the last few sessions, we've been seeing considerable amount of move in this space again. Your thoughts on the IT pack? Of course, both on technical and fundamental terms, any specific stocks that are coming on your radar, which could be seen as a new buying opportunity as well?
Definitely, I will not get carried away with the today's move on IT. There are two reasons. Technically, IT index, overall Nifty IT index has a strong resistance at around 30,300, and we are, trading around same levels in the last almost 45 minutes. And this was the gap which was, during the Infosys and TCS results, this was the gap which was left behind. And secondly, if you look at the Nasdaq futures, the IT index of the US, it has been trading negative since the morning, and we are seeing lower lows on the same. And looking at that index, I think IT stocks overall around the world will see some profit booking. So I think I would not get carried away with this move today. Maybe I will wait for a couple of days on IT stocks. If you have already bought for a long term, I don't think there is anything to worry. 5-7% correction we can expect. But short term traders shouldn't get carried away with the momentum. Wait for a day or two.
Okay, understood. You know, another stock that, of course, has seen a sharp fall in today's trading action definitely warrants attention. Hero Moto, it's registered worst fall in over a year. The stock has slipped sharply about 4 odd percent intraday, and this is after the news reports that suggested that Enforcement Directorate has conducted raids at the residence of Pawan Munjal, the chairman of Hero MotoCorp, and there is allegedly an investigation in the money laundering case that ED has registered against him. And you can see there was a very sharp reaction around 12:30 p.m. where we saw the stock really slip very, very sharply. It had initially touched 52-week high levels, and we saw the, stock slip very, very sharply. Right now, it's pulled off from the day's low point. But Hero MotoCorp, your sense, what would you say to investors now?
So definitely, looking at the charts, first I would like to say that today's low was exactly at the support line which has been intact since the April month. So technically, nothing has been disturbed positionally. Of course, intraday we have seen a correction, but this correction was definitely due. The news has been only the reason of a technical correction. we can see free fall only below 3,000 mark. So until 3,000 is not been breached on closing basis, I don't think investor has to worry. Secondly, maybe this news is out, but we have not seen the confirmed report from the ED. So let's wait for the ED report. So investors shouldn't be get carried away with the news and throw off their long-term investment, because Hero MotoCorp has been more than 3 decades it has been performing well. So I think technically still pace is strong until 3,000 is reached. So hold your investment. 3,000 is your stop loss. You may, if the news has been been false, or maybe there is no outcome of the rate, you may see 3,400 in this time.
Okay, so this stock definitely needs to be on the watch list and the developments need to be followed. Let me now welcome my colleague Karishma Asudani, who's been following this story. Karishma, could you take all our viewers through it? What exactly has happened? Why the ED has really done searches across residences of Pawan Munjal? And what do we expect going forward? What has ED said?
Well, Sakshi, it's very important for us to first understand that these are searches, and there is a wider difference between the process of investigation on when and how the searches begin, followed by if there is an investigation, an alleged investigation on what the department is looking into. Now, it's a case that has been looked into also by the Income Tax Department and the DRI, that is the Directorate of Revenue Intelligence, on possession of certain foreign currency with the close aid of the chairman of Hero MotoCorp, is why Enforcement Directorate has intervened. The whole reason behind ED intervening is because of the angle of money laundering, especially when it comes in the FEMA regulations under PMLA, that is Prevention of Money Laundering. However, I think we must wait to see what the alleged investigation falls into and if there is any outcome of these searches.
Okay, we will continue to circle back to you to understand more details on this as and when the developments follow. Thanks a lot, Karishma, for that. Kush, you've already mentioned that, of course, today's reaction is a technical reaction and one should definitely keep watching all the developments because that will define the stock movement going forward. But it is near the support movement. But let's also talk about a larger auto basket as well. What is your own sense of the kind of move in the auto stocks that we've been seeing? At least in the last 4 or 5 months or we've been looking at the Nifty auto really doing quite well. It's moved up about 20-25% odd or so. So could you help us understand your own sense in the auto space? Are you looking at fresh opportunities? We've seen the sales come about for some of the companies today. Any sense of which segment of the autos should one really look at for opportunities? Should it be passenger vehicles, the four-wheelers, two-wheelers? Should it be the tractor majors, or should one absolutely go in for the ancillaries to get a larger pie of the profits there?
So definitely, if we start my answer with the Nifty Auto Index analysis, then as you rightly mentioned, we have seen a rally of Auto Index from 12,000 low in April to almost 16,000 recently. So almost 40% move we have already seen on the index overall. Now coming to stock specific, which counter I would prefer? Technically, techno funda pick is Tata Motors definitely, because it has all the except the two-wheeler play. We have the EV play, we have the luxury play, we have commercial vehicle play, and I think Tata Motors has been underperforming the stock, market since almost 7 years. Last time we saw 600 was in 2017, if I'm not wrong. So if you can see the stock has underperformed quite a bit. Secondly, it has, after many years, after acquiring Jaguar, Range Rover, first time it has turned consistently into profits. So I think one must keep Tata Motors on the watch list. Any dip towards 580 is an opportunity to buy for long term. Weekly charts have seen a quite bullish breakouts. I'm not just exaggerating target, but if a long term investor wants to chip in with the stop loss of 540, you can see targets of 1500 in next 2 years.
Understood that. Well, thank you so much, Kush, for being with us and discussing all these insights with all our viewers. The market's still subdued. We are looking at a muted trend on the Nifty, just about 20 points lower in trade at 19,732. The Sensex is down by 64 odd points at 66,466. Broader markets doing slightly better off. The IT index shining bright. It's the realty and some of the other sectors that are really taking a beating in trade today. But we'll continue to watch out for how the closing happens and what are the indications that we get for tomorrow's trading action as well. Do stay tuned with us onto Business Today TV to catch all the updates from the world of business and stock markets. You can also head over to Business Today Bazaar, our Hindi platform, to understand what really is happening in the markets now and what are the cues that you should be following now as we take on market today right there.
Now, the shares of Jet Airways hit the 5% upper circuit today, extending their 7-day gains to 37%. The airline announced it had received the air operations certificate from DGCA on Friday. Now, this may not mean the airline can take to the skies again, as the renewal of the permit is only till September. Jet also needs to cross several other hurdles which have been in place since it ceased operations in 2019.